Right, hello everyone, welcome to Friday Night with Hilly, and we're here for no we're not, we're here for PRF1. Full qualifying 50% race around Zandvoort, Netherlands. Round 18 of the season, we're getting very, very close to the end now. Obviously, we got the new game coming up at the end of this month. What are we today? We are the 10th, so we are... Well, if you've pre-ordered it, I think it's 18 days away. So 2.5 weeks away. Let's call it 2 to 3 weeks, shall we? I guess that's an easier way of saying it. Oh, Vice, that's not good. I think Vice has just said in the Discord it's setups of in wipes and settings. That's no good, is it? No worries. Fine, bowled out. Just said thank you because he asked for an invite and I sent him an invite, that's all. Okay. What was I doing? Yes, that's what I was doing. I was going to... look at the standings because, as I say, we're getting really towards the end of the season now. So Zandvoort, we still have 4 races left after this one, so 5 including this one. So Zandvoort tonight, Canada. One of the Italies, I'm not sure which. Off memory, I think that will be Monza. I think we did Imola earlier in the season. Spa, Francorchamps, and Abu Dhabi. So they are the remaining races. Obviously, we are going in to the next game. That may be a problem for some. It may be a problem for me, if I'm honest. Let's see, I guess, once we get the new game downloaded. So I should need it downloaded. Well, everybody's going to want it downloaded immediately, whether they need it or not. But I think I might be alright because I got a Series X, so I should be okay. But others may not. So I won't know for definite until the actual game comes out and we download it to know how big it is. So, in a way, what am I waffling about? I was going to do the standings. So, Axel leads the way at the moment from Sergeant Kamarov, and can you believe this? The gap is 0.5. It is half a point gap between Axel and Kamarov right now. Incredible. This far in 17 races completed, and they are separated by half a point. Unbelievable. Silent Oxen brings up behind, or comes up behind that in P3, 90 points off the lead, with Spreader just behind that, 94.5 points off of the lead. Atkins fills out the top 5 on 179. 179. On 179, which means he's 156 behind the lead. And Gunnar is in P6. I've had Atkins. What a season you're having, mate! Brilliant job. Unreal. Right, constructors. Let's go to that one. So we've got Ferrari leading the way in the constructors. Nice healthy lead for them of 71.5 points over Mercedes. AlphaTauri sitting P3, 108.5 points behind Ferrari. Red Bull 130, a further 30 points behind that, on 138.5 behind. And Williams are the 5th place team, 139 behind, so just a half a point separating them and Red Bull for 4th place. Then, in order of the rest of the teams, it is Alpine, Haas, Alfa Romeo, McLaren, and bringing up the rear, Aston Martin. So I'm just gonna have another quick look at the drivers. Also, we've named a lot of drivers. Robbo's in P7, by the way. He's not doing too bad when you consider he had a really horrible start to the season. He actually only picked up 10 points in the first 11 points in the first 5 races, which, when you consider the point system, is a very poor start to the season. But after that, he picked up 5, 15, 10, 10, 15, 20, 15. Then didn't race, I don't think, in was at Bahrain. Then 22, only 6 last time. 6 at Singapore. No, that's not Singapore. Qatar. And again, nothing last time out. So just started going off the boil a little bit recently. But considering the poor start, he's done well since. Anybody else standing out for me? As I look at the standings, really, not really. I don't think. I think for me at the moment, Atkins is probably my driver of the season. But, so we're going down to the wire between Axel and Kamarov. Right, back to the stream then. Hey Ollie, hey Apple, yeah, all good buddy. Vice, all of my settings and setups and settings have been wiped. Ollie, I'm hoping not to injure myself and race more next season. That would be good, Ollie. Vice, honestly, mate, I don't know. That is frustrating. Hopefully you've got somebody in the chat or something that can help you with a setup. So who was out first? Oh, look at this. Axel out first. Actually, look at this. Kamarov is catching him. I know it's only Quali, but hey, that was really loud. Even in Big D. There we go. Turned it down. Look at this. Axel leading Kamarov on their first Quali lap. I was just gonna go one more notch on that. There we go. Looks better for me. Right, okay, right, let's start getting the stream open on my laptop as well. Misty the cat at the moment is sleeping soundly. You glad to hear. So no mischief at the moment from her. Axel into turn 1 then, as we go on the first hot lap hole for the evening. It's really awkward sort of hairpin. It's not so much the hairpin that's awkward, it's the corner before it, which makes it awkward, I think, because it's so easy to lose it there. Stream manager up now on my laptop, so there we go, and I'll have a little think about it and we'll do a prediction at some point. So what can you do, Axel? It's just right, left, and the third for the right, down to second, shifting, short shifting back up to third for the exit, to allow for better traction. Won't need to get his best lap on the board at this stage, just enough to get through, and it's 108.671. Very, very quick start from him. Kamarov comes across the line, 109.152. I think both those times will be good enough to see them through. Here comes Bert Godwin, 109.480. Got McLaren on its way. Davis or Robbo, we shall find out. It's David. Oh, he's in an outlap in a way. So we've got a Haas, which is Apple, 109.253. That puts her into P3, just ahead of his teammate this evening. So where's that Aston Martin? I think that is Vice on an outlap, so hopefully he's got a set up. Got Axel to put in a TikTok worthy lap. Well, he's off to a really good start considering it's only Q1. Right, 6. I think he was doing, 108.0 was mentioned earlier on, but I don't think that was him actually. I think that was Plum. Bert Plum. I got 2 Berts tonight. I got a Bert Godwin and a Bert Plum. And a Nert Curse. Bert Godwin, Bert Plum, and Nert Curse. Fatal 110.4. That's Kamarov back to the pits. Here is Davis then. Sure who that. Oh, that's a Haas ahead of him, so yeah, that's Bert Godwin going back to the pits. Here comes Davis then, 109.4. Good start from Davis, goes into P4, just ahead of Bert Godwin. And then we've got just a whole host of people still sat in the pits for some reason. Not wanting to come out, a bit shy maybe. And what we're saying there, really good is, can they do a 107 tonight? 180 seems to be exceptionally fast around here, but could someone do a TikTok worthy 107? Fine, it's back on the grid tonight after a bit of time away from PRF1, so welcome back Fatal, and good luck on your return. Dark Lord is out on an outlap now, so let's go to them. And in fact, look to try and do the hilly hot lap with Dark Lord when he comes round. Williams. Nearly binned it at turn 2. Ooh, we still did a 109.2, so it's not bad going for Q1. I'm sure that will be good enough for this session. Don't listen to me necessarily on that. Don't just retire just because I said that. Please don't, because if you go out, I'll feel bad. I'm sure it will be. Lap effectively starting there. DRS opens just before the right-hander in the final corner, and keep it open all the way down the straight to turn 1. Really sort of late break in, about 60-70 metres, something like that, and then turn in, open up steering, get on the power as best you can. Oh, it's an invalidation at turn 1. Dark Lord, quite an unusual place actually to invalidate there. Never mind. What else we got then? Well, Robbo will be next over the line, so we'll do a hilly hot lap with Robbo. So here he comes. Again, yeah, it's about 60 metres, I think. He seems to be breaking at. Up to the inside of the corner easily still. And just a lift through the right-hander that leads into the left-hand hairpin. Open up steering, get on the power as best you can. And climb all the way up the hill to this quite strange right-hander. Just a, again, it's more of a lift than a brake as such, just gearing down to 6th. Then again a lift to go around the right-hander, and then heavy braking, late braking down into the right. Quite a light apex that you can open up steering, just on the power in a little bit of road between that and the next hairpin. Then DRS again, open, move the car over to the left-hand side, ready for the right-left. Down to 4th, Robbo uses through there, and then 3rd for the left-hander. Some will use 3rd and 2nd, as we saw earlier on with Axel, but I don't think it particularly matters. 5th gear through the first of the 2 right-handers, flat out through the last right-hander and the last corner. DRS was open just before the corner, and that is a 109.488, half a tenth separating the 2 McLarens in 4th and 6th, with Bert Godwin in between. Let's go to Scott. A decent hilly hot lap there, Robbo, thank you very much. So Scott then to be the first of the 2 Alpines to get a lap on the board in this session, and I have to say that the 2 Alpine boys have been very, very impressive this season in the constructors, so pleasure sitting on them this season. So 109.5 from Scott, swing to P7. The McLaren, I believe, is Robbo, just making his way back to the pits, so on with Jesus we go. Comes at the final corner, keeps the car to the right. That really needs to do that around here, to be honest. 109.6 puts him into P8. Might be enough. It probably is. Needs to slow down on his lap. So who will be next? Is Vice onto a lap next? No, it wasn't. Sorry, Vice. It's not. It's Big D. Beat you to it. The hills he backed out. He hasn't he? He's backed out. So let's go back to Vice then. AlphaTauri, I think, has had a little incident. That was the other AlphaTauri. That must be Silent Oxen who's on an outlap because Big D wasn't at that part of the track. We're just coming up to Big D now, just in front of us. So he's well out of the way on the right hand side. Now in close to take the apex. Opens up the DRS, we'll move the car to the left. Just gently on the steering wheel for that bit, and then open it up. Get on the power, round the right hander. And that is a 110.1 from Vice. It's in P9 for the moment. The other Aston Martin and a Plum will be next. This on the right lap, I'm not sure where he needs to be. Oh, comes back to the pits, and what went wrong on his lap. Okay, interesting. Silent Oxen then. Head to the line, 1:09.083. That puts him into P2 ahead of Cammy. And to Dark Lord heading for the line, and I believe Find Waldo is following him round straight after. So Dark Lord 110.5, Find Waldo 1097. So he goes just behind teammate Jesus in P10. Spread her out on the right lap now. Let's just go to Big D. I suspect he's probably having another go. So well in at the moment. Oh, 1097 exactly as well. He goes identical lap time to Find Waldo. Obviously goes just behind him in P11 as Waldo said it first. It's a spreader then, who's just coming out the final corner. Start his first lap of the evening. So these guys that leave it late do put a bit of pressure on themselves. So I prefer to get out earlier versus start the session actually. It's you understand it. I mean, the track does evolve like in real life, so it does get better as the session goes on. Quicker. Just caught the grass on the outside there. I don't know if you saw the dirt going onto his tyre. So it's here now in a way. Didn't seem to affect him really. Be careful touching that inside curb. I don't think he would have planned to touch that curb. Can be very, very tricky indeed. And leads to a spin. It's it's an okay lap from Spreader. I think it'd be enough to get him through, which is all that matters. The yellow flag ahead is Atari heading into the pits. Probably ran out of fuel. So 1092 for Spreader puts him into P5. So that will be enough to see him through until on the lap. I'm not improving, I don't think. So yeah, heads to the pits instead. Who else do we have? We have Atkins 48.6 reset to 2. Nice through the penultimate corner. Let's see, he doesn't keep it to the right hand side, and I agree with him. I think actually it's better to stick to the racing line around here, because you're opening up the steering to stick to the racing line, which enables you to get the power down better or gather speed quicker. So I think it works better around here. 1099 for Atkins in the Alpine. That put him into P13, so definitely without a doubt he's in trouble with that time. Especially when one of the drivers yet to set a time is Plum. Another of the drivers yet to set a time is Curse. Dark Lord's on his outlap. Dre is out, so I didn't see that, so I don't know whether he's just retired to start the back, or whether he had a quali ban or something, I don't know. But 108.8 then puts Plum into P2, just behind Axel. Vice onto the precipice. Probably may get a bit of traffic here. He's just catching Curse, but Curse realised that he was on a lap and got out of the way nicely. After the tyres out, having definitely done enough on that 109.2. Again there, look, Dark Lord just caught the grass on the outside going into that right-hander. Did it again there, which is why he's ran out wide, unfortunately. Now, if he gets that energy turned off, he's definitely got the time for another lap. Tyres won't be enjoying going across the gravel track like that, but he's definitely got the time for it, but he may not quite have enough energy. Fatal come around to starting lap. We've just got Vice and Big D. Yeah, Vice is the one further back. That is Plum, who presumably is heading to the pits. Fatal will be next to start a lap. Dre is washed, says Theo. So that's what happened, he's washed. He's out, presumably crashed then, Theo, did he? Completely missed that. What a Williams. Must be Dark Lord. He's having trouble. He seems to be back going again. Fatal's just slightly down through sector 1, but it's a very tiny amount, very recoverable. So joins, not, so if he's taking the seat, he's not going to be in time to do a lap. So now Fatal's found some time, nearly 2 tenths up through sector 2. Not a bad line through the left-hander there. It's a little bit of an inside curb. Again, it's another curb you ideally don't want to use. Very, very tricky. As he heads to the line then, is improved by 1/4 of a second. And that has him in P16, so unfortunately will be out. Curse jumps up to P2. 108.738. Puts Vice into the drop zone, but he's on a pretty good improvement here. He's definitely heading above Atkins. He may go ahead of Big D and Wilder. In fact, he jumps at the P10 in the end. Nice improvements all through the lap there. Big D may be okay on the lap time he's on, but if he can improve just to make sure, that would be ideal. 109.7 to beat, and he does. It goes up to P9, so that actually puts Waldo into P15. It would have been a massive shock, but presumably Fatal, yeah, is just on his way back to the pits, I think. So, and Dark Lord's already gone into the pits, so Waldo will get through. But my goodness, was that close for him? Cut-offs in the 109s, I think that's pretty impressive. And in general, most leagues would be in the 110 sort of cut-off for Q1. So pretty impressive from PRF1, I have to say that. So there we go. That's Q1 then. Wasn't even stressed as well though. Of course not, mate. We believe you. We trust you. Don't you worry. Look at that, 1 second covers the top 14. I think just over 1 second to Waldo in 15th, but very, very tight indeed. Let's just go to the race director. There are the instants, just in case they're not needed. It was terminal damage for Dre, so I didn't see it. It must have been reasonably late in the session because he was right down the second bottom there. There we have it. So Axel fastest in Q1, but doesn't really mean anything. I have no doubt at all that all of those guys have more time in their laps, which is pretty scary, to be honest. So unlucky to the guys that we lose. It's miracle I made it through. Was changing my wheels settings, right? Quali, yeah. Yeah, I don't know how much you change, Ice. I mean, it's, yeah, well done, though, mate. Obviously, being on pad, I don't change much at all, if I'm honest. I try and keep it all basic if I can. But, yeah, interesting. I did play around a lot recently with the steering rate for pad, but I have learned that it's good to maybe change that around a bit on different tracks. My hands are racing from the force feedback. They're racing. I think he means aching. I'll let him off. Seal back out first again, and I think he's followed by Kamarov again. Indeed he is. I don't know why these two are doing this. It's just a deliberate thing. I'm back, says Fatal. Welcome back. Good luck for tonight. Unlucky in Q1, but it was all pretty close. In all fairness. Difficult old track, Zandvoort. I haven't mentioned it yet, really. I haven't really talked about the track yet, but it is a difficult old track. Some elevation changing and fast corners, not many slow ones. Even the hairpins are fast for hairpins. They're not you know, it's not as if you're gearing down the first gear to take them. They're pretty quick, easily doable in third. I even think the first hairpin is pretty okay in fourth, in all fairness. So here comes Axel then to start a lap. Let's go with him. We can have a look at some of those elevation changes. You can see this already heading uphill into this difficult right-hander. It is just a little lift, and then down to, he does go down to second, quickly back up to third. It's just much easier, I think, to accelerate in third on this year's game. And we head all the way uphill again into this, again, just a lift going into the right-hander. No real break in there, not in qualifying in a way. And then again a lift into this right-hander. Late braking for that right-hander there. Open up the steering, get the power down. Can be a little bit tricky getting the power down in between the two corners. And then again we start to head uphill here. Back downhill, braking for this corner, which again can make the car a little unstable. Then to the right, and we go into the banking final corner now. DRS open before the corner, which I think is unique. I cannot think of any other track of the season where you take a corner with DRS open, so I think that is completely unique to Zandvoort. Kamarov immediately after goes 108.9, so just under a tenth separating the two championship contenders. Big D 109.9. Teammate Silent Oxen 109.2, Davis 109.4, Haas now with Burt Godwin 109.3, Scott on his way round. That's a good attitude to have, Fatal. And yeah, evening curse. Welcome. Yeah, no, yeah, you're right. I know where you mean. A little right hand kink fatal, but yeah, no, I don't count that. Robbo 109.5 again, just under half a tenth, covering the two McLaren drivers. They've been pretty close in qualifying all season, I have to say, and usually close. As long as nothing happens to either of them, they're usually close in the race as well. Usually like to use different strategies, which is always good. Who else we got there? Anybody? Pierce is right there. Master spreads right now, so it is indeed Jesus who will be next over the line. Start a lap, so we'll go with him. Comes then to start the lap. Haas in a bit of trouble by the looks of it. Either that or they have literally slowed to a stop to let people through. I can't imagine they've slowed to a stop, so I think that is Apple in a little bit of trouble. Yeah, it looks like he was on a lap actually, so I think Apple was in a bit of trouble there. We'll stick to the driver who's on a hot lap. See, no real brake in there, just gears down. A slight lift. That's it. To the right, left. Corner I've always had a bit of trouble with, I must admit, that right, left. I'm not 100% sure how best to take that one. So Jesus over the line, it's 109.776, that puts him into P8. Let's go to Spreader. Just coming up towards the end of sector 2. Pairing with Curse, because he's just going around that left-hander as well, so 48.166. Curse heads to the end of that sector, 47.842, so 3 temps up, Curse in comparison to Spreader. So 109.4 from Spreader, I'm expecting a 109.0 I think from Curse. Maybe nick a 108, he does nick a 108, a 108.8 actually. Jumps up the P2 just ahead of Ferrari teammate Kamarov. We've got now Waldo just starting the lap. Hey Apple, stop to let people pass to be safe, as you wouldn't have made it round the last corner in time. Okay. In time for what? Oh, for them to get past. Sorry, yeah, let's see. Just getting out of the way as well there, that was Bert. Find Waldo, Axel retires from the session in the pits. He feels the 108.813 is good enough, and I absolutely concur with him. And Waldo clearly backed out of this one, so let's go to Plum. Fast corners around here at Zandvoort. It's ooh, that was a lot of curb on the inside. He's gotten away with it. Oh, but he's unsettled there, coming out of the right-hander. I wouldn't be surprised if that was all part of that. It was definitely too much curb, but you definitely didn't mean to take that much. To hell with the way that like the car was hitting a sort of invisible wall across it. So here he comes then, 108.302. Half a second faster than Axel, really showing what he could do in Q2. And to say, he was the one hitting the 108.0s earlier on, so definitely expecting a very fast Q3 lap from him. Also, my time trial here is 108.3, but it's not a low 0.3 like that. Mine's like a 0.388 or something like that, or I think it's 0.383 or something like that. So, let's do that in a Q2. Very impressive. That's me. We'll go then into the final couple of corners and over the line. 109.284 puts me into P7. I do think that this cut-off's going to be extremely tight by the time they've all finished their laps. We've got just under 5 minutes remaining, and they will look to leave it as best they can, as late as they can. But Godwin went into P2 on a 108.781. Plumb the tyres now in the pits. Feeling safe, and I don't blame him. Davis first to exit the pits for his final run. So, say this is going to be super close. So I'm not surprised some drivers are leaving it much later, because they will look to get every little bit of track evolution that they can in. Davis PB currently 109.480. It's looking like 109.1 is probably where we're going to need to be right now, in a way, to feel safe. It may end up being a 0.2 or something like that for the actual cut-off, but right now, if I wasn't on a 0.1, I wouldn't be feeling 100% safe that I was through. And the other reason why Davis came out early is exactly that. If you're not happy with the start of your lap, you can bail out of it and look to start again. Just recharge with the little bit of battery you've used. Spreader across the line. His personal best at the moment, slightly quicker than Davis on a 109.416. This understeer is something else as well. Why? They want a default setup or something? Have they given you an F2 car? From what I understand, they understeer quite badly. Yellow flags ahead of us as a Red Bull gets out of the way. I think realises quite late. See a load of smoke as he locks up the wheels. No, Dad. So Davis gets out of the way as well. I didn't see the split time actually. I just missed it. Disappeared just so I went to look up. Got no clue. If they head for the line, they're probably improving. 109.254, so yeah, improves by a tenth and a half, goes into P7. So it's not the 0.1 I mentioned, but it is faster than Silent Oxen, who was the driver I was looking at. But here comes Silent Oxen on his own lap now, and it's a 108. No, it's not. It's a 109.124. Sorry. So back into P7 ahead of Spreader. Order on an out lap. Aston Martin advice, he's on an out lap, so it is indeed Catanax. Thank you for joining and thank you for chatting. Yes, it is a full 20 player lobby. 109.471 for Davis, improves by 9 thousandths. We'll see if that turns out to be good enough, but it does leave him on the cut-off. Scott through the final corner. Can he jump up? 109.278, that moves him up to P9, that knocks Davis out. Robbo not improving. Has he got time? I would assume he's driving slowly. Yeah, he should have time to make it across the line. Oh, sorry, Jesus out the final corner. Heads to the line, and it's a 109.484. That moves him into P12, so won't make it through. Robbo starting a lap there. Big D just starts a lap Vice. He's 6 tenths up. Just over 6 tenths actually, which would be a 109.5, but I think there's going to be plenty of time to come in the final sector as well. Taking up an ultimate corner pretty well, and we go to the line then. What does he manage? 109.268 puts him into P9. That drops Waldo into the drop zone, and he is going to be out. Davis to the pitch. Jesus on an in lap. I want to hop that Big D a little bit further ahead on track, so let's go to him. He's just going up to the end of sector 2. There's Scott in the Alpine is just going round actually. For the line, doesn't improve across the line, Scott. So he is the man in danger at the moment. 109.278. Big D, what's he got in him tonight? So, a little bit of the sound of it in the wall there, but I didn't see him at all. What that was about. 109.419, so that puts him into P12. Robbo, what have you done? What have you done? 109.239, he goes P8. Goes P8, he knocks out Scott. We do have a McLaren through to the top 10 shootout. So that is it for Q2. And it is plumb through as fastest, significantly on a 108.3. But again, there's going to be drivers with plenty of time left in those laps yet. But we look down the order. It's going to be Plum, Godwin, Axel, Kurst, Kamarov, Apple, Silent Oxen, Robbo, Spreader, and Vice, who go through into the pole position shootout. Scott, Waldo, Big D, Davis, and Jesus. Unlucky to leave us at this stage, guys, but good luck for the race. And we will head into Q3. And what a 10 to get through. What a 10. Unbelievable pace in those 10 drivers. So there's the incidents for Q2. Just a few for speeding in the pit lanes there from Vice, Robbo, Spreader, and Waldo. Nothing. That doesn't matter. Nothing happens with that. So there we go. My cat is now awake, by the way. She is now looking to cause mischief and is sat on top of the Xbox. Well, stood on top of the Xbox looking out the window at the moment. Misty, the Xbox. Right, okay. So generally, you expect 2 runs. It is one of the shortest tracks of the calendar, obviously Austria being the shortest. So it's not impossible to get 3 runs in here, but generally you don't have the tyres at this point. So, and I would say personally this is a track where I would definitely want to save a set of softs for the race if I can. Doing most tracks in a way, but this is definitely a track where I'd want to. So, a little bit out of order as they come out the pits to what we've been used to so far, but Axel has made his way to the front. He's got Haas after him, and then it's Kamarov who's just gone past the Haas. So swapping around a little bit. I don't know what that's all about, why they're doing that, but there you go. Prediction, I've completely forgotten to do a prediction, so let's get it in now quickly. So I'm going to make, look, there is half a point between the top 2 in the championship going into today's race, Axel and Kamarov, so I'm going to make this very simple. who will finish the race highest. Axel or Kamarov? I was thinking about putting spreader on there, but that might confuse issues with the way I've worded it. Is we'll finish the race highest. We all know spreader is always the highest at the end of the race, at the start of the race as well. I'll give you 20 minutes, guys. That might just about take us into the race slightly, but 20 minutes then to get some predictions down, guys. Let's have a bit of fun of that. Who will finish highest in the race between Axel and Kamarov? Talking about Axel, let's go to the onboard cam. See this first run. Invariably, the final run tends to be the fastest, but it is a track where drivers might make mistakes on that final run, so probably more important here than most tracks to get a decent banker lap in, so that you're not too far down the order. Axel, who is leading the championship by the half a point over Kamarov. Head to the line, and it's a 1:08.378 to get us underway in the final session. 1:08.581 from Kamarov puts him into P2. Burt Godwin across the line, 1:09.0. The other Ferrari then, of course, heads to the line. It's handy through the second sector, and it's a 1:08.5, puts him just 2 thousandths behind Kamarov. Here comes Apple. 1:08.488 goes into P2 ahead of the two Ferraris. Tauri now with Silent Ox in 1:09.049. Master spread for Williams. 1:09.082. Very close with Silent Ox in there. And that's it for the guys on hot laps so far. Plum, who I think is probably favourite to take pole tonight. Probably very close between him and Axel, I would say, in terms of favourites. But here he comes to start his first lap of Q3 then. Ice on an out lap as well. Robbo not left the pits, so perhaps just going to have the one run. That's in order to save a set of tyres, perhaps, for Robbo. Who sets 2 now? The one I saw was Curse, and in comparison he's about 3 tenths up, so I think he is on his way to being fastest here, Plum. I think he's on for a 1:08.2, as we can see a Haas reversing backwards, I think, trying to get out of the way after a spin. Well, oh my goodness, it's a 1:08.0. That's the exact lap he hit earlier on, I'm sure it is. 1:08.089 from Plum. What a monstrous lap. Sure, that's the lap he set earlier on, and said in the chat that that's what he managed. Just equalled it exactly. You can see other Aston Martin then of Vice. 1:09.7 from Vice, puts him into P9 for the moment. So you don't know, he could be on worn tyres there, Vice. So shouldn't read too much into that lap time. I think. You know he's not likely to hit the heights of what Plum has there, and nobody is likely to do that, but I feel for Vice though. If anybody didn't see it in the Discord or on the chat here, Vice turned the game on to, loaded up the game to come into tonight's race, and he's blooming all his setups and even his wheel settings had all deleted, so absolute nightmare. Helpfully, I'm stuck between Cammy and Axel and don't want to get shouted at. Just don't do anything silly, Apple. You still got the last laps to go yet. That could change yet, Apple. But yeah, just don't do anything silly, mate. Just drive, and as long as you drive safely, then that's it. So just heading back into the pits as well now. So nobody on track at the moment. Well, we got about 5 minutes left. So we might have a couple of minutes here before anybody looks to come out. That is a fair point, actually, Waldo. That's a very good point. If you just send it on one of them, Apple, take one of them out, the other one's bound to praise you. So, you know, you can only be 50% in the wrong. Although I would urge, like, Kamarov is an admin, whereas Axel isn't. Quite a silent admin, actually, Kamarov. He doesn't say very well. I'm not an admin in PRF1 anymore, but I know he doesn't say very much in FPR. It's my memory of my admin days of PRF1. Well, I've never been an admin in PRF1, but I used to be in the admin chat as a commentator. Yeah, he never said very much. Yeah, silent killer, Apple. That's the way I'd say it. He does his talking on the track, baby. So Q3. Nobody's put a prediction on yet, guys. Come on, let's get a prediction on. Who will finish the race higher, Kamarov or Axel? Stop waiting for the end of qualifying before putting your channel points down. Do it now. Unless you're a driver, don't do it now because you need to go out on your final runs. Because we are just coming down 3 minutes and 10 seconds remaining as the first driver goes out onto the track, and I believe it's Plum. So I would say pole position favourite, not just because he's done an unbelievable banker lap, but I just think he's that little cut above at the moment today from what I've seen time-wise from everyone. Mind you, that may be the case in qualifying. It doesn't necessarily mean his race pace is going to be the fastest. You never quite know. So he will take it. Plum needs 900, so 0.090 in order to break into the 107s. Very nice start for turn 1. Oh no, I think that's it. I think that's it. Let's watch him up to the end of sector 1, but proper slid round the hairpin there, but yeah, he's over a tenth down. We'll stick with him because it's not impossible to recover, but we'll have made it. Oh no, now it is. Now it is. That is lap over. Not only being on his last lap, I'm sure he absolutely pummeled into that curve, and yet it didn't affect him like that when he just barely touched it. So there we go, there's confirmation that he's completely backed out. So let's head down to Kamarov, who's just heading up to the end of sector 2. And he's almost a 10th up, which, well, would at the moment just about nip him ahead of Apple. Find anything more to maybe challenge Axel in the final sector. Here he comes to the line, and it's a 108.401, so he does nip ahead of Apple into P3, doesn't quite get ahead of Axel. One of the Haas, that's Bert Goldwyn, goes into P2 on a 108.359. Axel is improving, he's a 10th and a half up through sector 1. So there are other drivers on laps here, but championship how it is. Quarter of a second up through sector 2. He's right on plumb here. There's just a little oversteer. He come out at a left-hander. Will that affect the lap time in the end? It might do. Don't think that car is going to give him a tow as such. But he does do it, 108.042. He goes fastest and takes pole position. Spreader last on a lap, but he's not on a lap. He must have made a mistake right at the start of the lap. Oh no, I think he's just on an in lap actually. He did improve. He went to a 108.788 did Spreader. That's why he's sort of taken a best of the rest situation here, because we've got this top group that are so tight. It's unbelievable. And that might be Axel's best pole position of the season. I do recall a rather astonishing one all the way back in Miami earlier on in the season where the lap time was ridiculous, but I think that might be his best of the season. So Apple missed at the first sector, was a 10th down, right. Okay. Well, at least you got those two ahead of you now instead. So, but yeah, it's unreal though. How strong is this grid at the moment? Axel, Plum, Godwin, Kurse, Kamarov, Apple, Spreader, Robbo, Silent Oxen and Vice. Vice, by the way, got down to a 057, 109.057, so he was only 8 thousandths off a Silent Oxen. So, well done, Vice. Very well done, lad. My time trial, I believe, would have had me in P5 just ahead of Kamarov, so there you go. That's where I'd have been. No, I wouldn't, because I wouldn't have done my time trial time in Quali. I probably would have been P7, I expect, but there you go. Anyway, I don't know why I'm talking about that. There we go. There's a top 10. I won't go through everybody again because I should do a full grid rundown on the formation lap. Remember, any drivers listening to the stream, please do remember we take a 5-minute break. They usually say in the Discord chat what time we'll be going, guys, so just take a look in there. It probably says free speeding in the pit lanes there, Kamarov, Plum and Kamarov. Doesn't make any difference, they won't be looked at. There we go. So, okay, guys, so I can see that we do have predictions on now, so thank you very much, guys, to whoever's put those on. I'm just going to take a quick break and grab myself a fresh coffee, and I'll be back in a few minutes ready for the formation laps. See you in a bit. Okay guys, back with you as we await the start of what is gearing up to be an absolutely stonking race. Really is. Immensely quick qualifying. Just have a quick look at Discords in case there's any messages, or my personal favourite, any arguments. That's I always like to see the arguments. Right, the formation lap then is underway. Let's have a quick and ooh, look at that. Right, okay, let's just do the grid rundown then. Proud to have given 10,000 channel. You might win some back yet, Apple. You might just given them. You might win some. Anyway, yeah, rundown. So Axel starts on pole with Plum alongside, looking to challenge into turn 1. Burt Godwin starts P3 with Curse in 4. The first of the two Ferraris, Kamarov starting 5th. Apple then starts in P6 with Spreader in 7 and Robbo alongside in P8. Silent Oxen starts P9 with Vice Racing filling out the top 10. Scott then in P11 with Find Waldo starting P12. Big D 13, Davis 14, Jesus and Atkins alongside each other on the 8th row of the grid. Fatal Defiance starts 17th with on his return, and the Dark Lord starts P18. Lil Gupta didn't get a lap done in Q1, wasn't quite in time. I don't think he was expecting to race in all fairness. I think he's coming late to fill a spot, and Dre, who unfortunately crashed in Q1, will start at the very back in the Mercedes in P20. So, tyres, well, the top 11 are all starting on the medium tyre, as you can see. There's 4 drivers starting on the hards. They are Find Waldo in P12, Davis in P14, Fatal in P17, and the other Alfa Romeo of Lil Gupta starting in P19. I've got absolutely no idea in terms of weather tonight, guys. Nobody's sort of ruined that for us, so I will say that the sky doesn't exactly look bright blue, does it? So maybe, just maybe, we could be expecting rain at some point. I don't know. That's just me hazarding a guess, really. It will explain why we've got no soft starters at all. I mean, it is a track you can use softs on, so I'm surprised we've got none, unless they're all expecting to go until the rain starts. So in a way, let's go on board with Kamarov in P5. All the lights are on. Quite a long pause before they all go out, and we are away in Zandvoort. Some moves going on. Kurz manages to get ahead of Godwin for P3. It's one of the Ferraris up a place. Other changes. Silent Oxen's gone ahead of Robbo into P8. Burt Godwin's coming back here at Kurz, who's on the inside here. Still side by side. It's not easy doing that through here. As you can see, there is a little bit of a touch. Does make the cars rather unstable when they do that, but it's still side by side. Fabulous racing from the pair of them. In the end, Curse seems to opt to concede that one, but fantastic racing from the pair of them to start this race. At the moment, nobody up more than 2 places. Silent Oxen's up 2 to 7. He's gone ahead of Spreader now. Jesus up 2 to 13. Atkins now up 2, as he's still side by side with Big D. As they come onto the pit straight. Looks like there's a move being made further up. It looks like Atkins has got that to me now. Yeah, he has. So I'm not sure who the move was further up, but nothing's changed on the leaderboard. So whoever it was, I don't think they quite made it. Everybody within a second of the driver ahead, apart from Burt Godwin, who's just 1.1 off of the guy ahead at the moment. So, of course, he had that early battling with Curse, so could he use a bit of battery maybe, get himself back onto the front 2? He's already, in comparison to the front 2, he's already burned a lot. So, he'll definitely want to try and get within a DRS, otherwise he's going to be completely vulnerable. So the top 6 still as they were at the start of the race. And as I say, Silent Oxen up 2 places to P7. The only driver in the top 10 to have actually gained places, believe it or not. Just having a look there, but not DRS that time, of course. It enables now, so they'll have it the next time round. And they'll have it on the small DRS zone. Adding a left-hand hairpin, not this one, the one later in the lap. Hard to know exactly where to look for an overtake right now because everybody is so close. It could come from absolutely anywhere. So we'll stick with this because in a way it is the most likely because of the DRS advantage that Chris has. Bit of irony, actually, in the fact that Kirsten and Cameron find themselves teammates tonight in the Ferraris. Not been much love lost between the two of them recently, in recent times. So tonight, they're both in the Scarlet Red. So through goes Plum to take the lead off of Axel at the first time of asking with DRS. Kurse couldn't get alongside Godwin for turn 1, so he's going to have to wait another lap. But sat in behind Godwin in P4 right now isn't the worst place to be, in all fairness. Look at the energy difference. But Godwin, I won't say the figures, but as you can see on your screen, quite a substantial difference. Oh, Bert's run wide! Godwin's run wide, and he's caught the curb, and it's spun him round. He's going to get back going again, but I think he's going to drop. Hello, Scott, is he? Yeah. I think he ran wide. Kurse almost followed him out there, I think. Which often happens when a driver ahead of you runs wide and makes a mistake. You do become a little fixated on their car, and so you can often end up sort of running out almost after them, and because you're following them as the Ferraris go side by side. As I say, there's not been a lot of love lost recently between these two. Kurse is reserving, so he's not usually Camerol's teammate. Could get a better exit here. Yeah, he does. It's quite often the higher line coming out of that hairpin, for whatever reason, does seem to give you a better exit and able to get on the power a little bit quicker. So he holds the place ahead of Kamarov at this stage. Well, they battle like that. The gap ahead increases. Let's go to the front two now as they reach the DRS zone. On the pit straight once again, is Axel going to look to make a move? It looks like he might be. Does move to the inside, but I think in the end opts to be the car driving behind instead to have the DRS. Kamarov though, two Ferraris again side by side. This time Kamarov makes it stick, and he's now up into P3. Godwin having recovery from that spin is fighting to get back into the top 10 now. With Weiss, Voldo looking to take advantage of that battle and follow through as well, and indeed he does. So Weiss dropping 2 places there. Not the worst thing in the world. Oh, we got a yellow flag. It's Apple. It's the other Haas. And he folds back in behind his teammate this evening into P10. Wow, so they're both fast now. I'll just change it back to tyres for you on the left hand side, but at the moment the top 10, despite both Hasses having had a spin each, we are back to, or we are with the whole of the top 10 being medium starters as it stands. Robbo gets ahead of Master Spread into turn 1. Robbo up to P6, well done. Local lad down here in Plymouth, well, he's in Plymouth, I'm in Torbay. Just showing little signs that he might be able to eat into the lead of the 2 in front. Again, energy not to his advantage at the moment, but what is to his advantage is the 2 ahead. Maybe battling a little bit. So back onto the pitch straight. Let's get on board and see what this DRS looks like. Well, listen to that. Completely lifts. Completely off the throttle going into turn 1. Has absolutely no interest in battling that plum. So it stands on 100% ERS. This plum. Through this group, mighty close. Godwin has gotten ahead of Scott for P8. As has somebody gone round? Oh, it's Weiss. Weiss at it's the left hand. It's the hairpin, isn't it? And set to 1. He's getting the car spun back round to get going again. No obvious signs of damage on the car, so I think he's all right just to continue. But is likely to now be relying on a safety car at some point. I would say a medium to high risk around here for safety cars in the Netherlands. So I think I certainly don't think Weiss should give up at all. I think there really is a real chance that the safety car will come out and bring him back into this. As the Ferraris again change positions. Curse with DRS able to get back past Kamarov. At this stage, I don't think to be using any more of that energy, so they just look to let his teammate go and hold on to the back of him as a way of recharging, and Silent Oxen, as he so often does, maybe wasn't with this front group in terms of qualifying pace, but as soon as you get into the race, this man just, he holds on. He's just, he's like a bad smell. He just won't go away. Spreader back past Robbo, by the way, for P6, but they're still very tight together. If you actually look at the gaps through the field, it's ridiculous how tight this is at the moment. It's the only real tellable gaps. I think there's 3 throughout the whole field that are a bit tellable. I think that's Weiss. And that's the safety car. When I said a safety car might bring him back into it, I didn't mean he should cause it himself. That's always going to be suspect. The only thing he's got to be a little bit careful of, Vice, is because he caused the safety car by losing his wing, when it comes to the safety car coming in, it won't wait for him to catch the back of the pack because he's the cause of the safety car. So he needs to be pretty quick after his pit stop at actually making sure that he gets onto the back of the group again. As I think we just lost Fatal out of the session. We always lose him at least once. It wouldn't be a Friday night if we didn't have to invite Fatal back at least once. So. Vice might be investigated for that one. Poor Vice. Right, okay, let's have a little look then. Right, everybody stopped, or stopping. The leaders they just about, I think it was the front 2 or 3, just about got out before the safety car actually got out of the pit lane. So it's a little bit, it's one of the little bit dodgy things on this year's game, unfortunately. Sometimes the safety car exits the pit lane before the lead car goes past. And they get caught. The lead group gets caught behind the safety car. And of course isn't allowed to overtake it, so everybody else catches up, and then they pit and lose multiple places. Fatal Defiance says, has he got back in? Fatal? Yeah, his car seems to be solidified, which suggests he's in. I didn't see his name come up, but he must have got back in. But yeah, Vice just needs to be a bit careful here, because if Dark Lord catches the back of this early enough, it could bring the safety car in. There is a gap actually between, I think it's an Alpine and a Haas. Yeah, it's between Scott and Apple. There's a little gap that may also keep the safety car out. So I think he's going to be all right. I think he's going to get another lap. Well, he is going to get another lap. It would have come up by now. So, yeah. We'll have another lap to catch it, which should be no problem for him whatsoever. So, people are thinking hards to the end. I'm pretty sure that's what they're looking at. So I think that Plum, Kamarov. So interestingly, Kamarov has gone to hards, Axel to a new set of mediums. So Axel has to pit again. Now, the situation could be that we could end up with another safety car, in which case Axel's probably done the right thing. But you can't be sure of that, and if we don't, that could make this race very, very interesting. Obviously, if Axel pits the softs as a final stint in this race, he's going to be super, super quick in the later stages. But it's not the only one, of course. Curse has done the same. But I can't remember who started on hards, actually, I must admit. Let's just have a quick look at the race director. So as you can see, Axel medium, medium. Yeah, Curse medium, medium. Bert Godwin medium, medium. Apple medium, medium. So yeah, those guys all have to start again. Have to start again. They all have to pit again. Oh no. Ah, I'm gonna have to leave and rejoin, guys. It's done the blooming. I'm stuck in the race director. It hasn't done this in about 6 months or something. Yeah. I am sorry, guys, but I'm gonna have to actually quit the game in order to get out of the race director. I will get back in as quick as I possibly. Shouldn't take long to get back in, so I will miss the restart because it's going to restart that lap. Honestly, it hasn't done that where it gets. It's only ever happened to me once, and as I said, it was about 6 months ago. It might even be longer than that. I just kind of assumed that would have been fixed. I didn't think it would do it again. Don't be ridiculous, silly. Of course, it's not fixed. There's Davis. I could join off for Davis. Almost there. Just loading in. There we go. Right. Yeah, I think we're on the restart now. I think we've actually got back in time for the restart. Oh no, we didn't. That was the lap after the restart because Axel sat a fastest lap. I'm sure he didn't do that on the in lap for the safety car. So in a way, then, so the safety car has occurred and it has come in. We've done another lap. Axel leads from Plum, then the two Ferraris, Kurz leading Kamarov. Got to Silent Oxen. We've got a yellow flag. It looks to be fatal. Yeah, he's round there at turn 1, and the safety car is coming out. So, yeah, he's lost his front wing. So, we got another... one lap of racing between safety cars, and I missed it because I had to rejoin. Unbelievable. Well, now, I've got to be honest. There's a genuine chance that the mediums may be able to make it to the end if they do another 2 or 3 laps under the safety car. I think the medium guys need to be nursing these tyres a little bit through these laps because there may be a chance of getting us to the end now. I think you can do about 21 laps or something like that. Maybe even a little bit longer on the mediums. They'll be shouting a little bit at the end. There's no doubt about that. They'll be shouting a bit at the end, and perhaps the harder tyre drivers will gain an advantage off of that. But there may be a chance now. Godwin is, Bert Godwin is deciding not to go with that. He's switching to hards. So that is going to drop him down to P18. He's going to exit as Dark Lord has pitted, and obviously Phaeton needs a new wing, so there we have that. There's an ad break coming up, and I'll let that one occur because we're on the safety car in a way. Oh, Misty, belly's all wet. Washing it, yeah. Oh dear. Right, and who's standing out at the moment, do you reckon? I think the position changes. Well, Gupta's up 14. Yeah, and he is on proper tyres as well. He's not like just stayed out on old tyres to make up places. He's... I don't quite understand how he's got there, actually. In fact, I've got absolutely no idea how he's got there. How did that happen? I wasn't anywhere near there. We had Silent Oxy was definitely ahead of him, and I could have sworn we had Spreader and Robbo battling for P6 before that first safety car. So how Guts has ended up ahead of Oxy, Spreader and Robbo, I have genuinely got absolutely no idea. What's occurring? Right, everybody has now caught up to the back of the safety car. There he is, Fatal. As you can see, he's on the back of Dark Lord. So the safety car will come in this lap, and we will resume therefore lap 17, which means 20 laps remaining. So remember, these tyres have only done one race lap, so effectively, even if you add the 4, well, it will be 5 safety car laps together, and say that comes to one lap, that would mean 22 race laps, call it, for the mediums. That is a long stint. I'm sure, I feel really sure that I've seen somebody do 22 laps on mediums around here on this game before, so I think it's very much doable. And I'm not sure that Axel will have much choice, because the hards will go to the end. There's no question over that. So Axel, well, those guys that are still on the mediums they switched to, their best chances in this race may well be another safety car at some stage. But they need it to be long enough that the hard guys can't stay out. So another fast one like that wouldn't really, well, I don't know, I think the hard guys probably would pit. But they would pit to mediums, of course, whereas the medium guys would have to come in and put hards on. So let's look at this from Plum's point of view. The safety car reaches the pit lane. There goes Axel. Doesn't really catch Plum. He reacts pretty well. Quite well. He's going to try and hang it around the outside with those hard tyres, but still side by side. Into this awkward right leading into the hairpin. Plum just moves the car out from behind the Mercedes slightly. And on we go. No changes through the field there at all. Although Waldo here makes... No, sorry, Apple makes a move on Waldo to get up to P9. Any others? I can't see any others. I mean, there's loads that could be battles. I just don't know. It's so tight. I don't know where to look. I'm doing my best for you guys, I promise. Davis... Is Davis out of shape there? Again, I'm not really sure. I think everybody's just so tight that they're having to take different lines through corners so as not to hit each other. I think is the case. Davis keeping his car really tight on the inside. Somebody's going to go past him. They're going to be forced, I think, to go the long way round. It looks, if anything, like Davis is eyeing up a move here on Dre. Needs to pick up the slipstream, I feel, because the Haas is getting a slipstream. Yeah, Davis saying, you're not coming out the inside. If you want to make a move, you're going to have to go around a long way. And that's good defence work from Davis, but Godwin still does manage to make a move. He's got the fresher tyres, I think. Yeah, Davis, in all fairness to him, has done absolutely everything he could there. I think he's defended the inside, and that's generally the best way to go. The outside at turn 1 does seem to be very much like that hairpin. You do seem to get a better grip on the outside when exiting. So, at the moment, there doesn't seem to be enough tyre advantage for Axel to actually get away. And that poses a massive problem to him, because if he's already struggling to see any tyre advantage, then what are they going to be like in 10 laps, 12 laps time or whatever? It may become, as Jesus has to pit and Scott has to pit, so has there been a collision between these two maybe? There's definitely a front wing there for Jesus. and a front wing for Scott, although it'd be a strange collision they had if they both got front wing damage, to be fair. So, not quite sure what's happened there, but they both need to change. So the racing was so tight, they could easily have just run into the cars ahead of them. Do have this group that's just broken away now, the top 6. Just broken away. Robbo in P7 is then leading a second group, which sort of covers P7 to P10. Big D in P11 is only just over a second behind that, so he's not far off. Let's come round to Plum then, as he looks to make the move on Axel. So Plum showing those hard tyres are already working really well. And through into P1 he goes. So now we'll follow him and look to make sure he stays in that DRS, but it is starting to look to me like the medium runners may need to make a stop. It's not looking that likely that they will get to the end of this race, or at least not with any real pace in a way. Surely the guys that went to hards will be able to make those tyres last to the end of this race. Surely they won't need to pit. The hard runners though, Kamarov and Kamarov, Silent Oxen and Plum, they don't want to they don't want to take too much of a gap that when the medium they want the medium runners to drop behind the hard guys that are in that second group when they do pit. Here comes Gupta to the inside of Kamarov. He's going to get boxed in by the two Ferraris though, and so Kamarov will hold that position. Actually got a bit of help there from Kurz that time. Fatal and Davis having a battle. Yeah, that's at turn 1. Fatal switches back. So let's go around the outside here at the hairpin. Should get a good exit, but Davis had a really good hairpin. Really strong hairpin there from Davis, which has allowed him to stay ahead. But Fatal, I don't know whether it's the softs that are doing it. It probably is. Softs just seem to allow Fatal to pick up the pace, or pick up the straight line speed that much quicker. Battle going on behind as well between Vice and Dark Lord, enjoying themselves. At the moment Vice leading that one, and he's right on the back of Fatal as well. It's good to get battles in throughout the field. Always like to try and get everybody in where I can. Spreader Jim onto the back of Apple, but not close enough to make a move. So at the moment, Plum, so I've only just noticed that, but Plum, yeah, he's pulled a gap just over a second and a half, which just even, that tells us even more, doesn't it? That really does tell us that these hard tyres are in, and they are working. They really are working right now. Axel's going to have a massive decision to make, because right now, if he pits, he's going to drop so far down. It may be a case, particularly for the top runners, as Jesus is round. No damage, so no safety car. As, one of the Ferraris is alongside Axel. It's Kurz who's gone alongside. It's can't quite get a move done, so stays in P3 for the moment. It does look like Axel is struggling on his mediums more than other drivers are. obviously this battle is just going to allow Plum to disappear, so you might not see him again, quite honestly. It's apart from a distance like that one. In terms of the prediction, guys, at the moment, Axel leads for the prediction. Axel ahead of Kamarov, but there is plenty of time to go and a lot of racing to do yet. We've still got 13 laps. Chris again gets so close to the back of Axel, but he just can't get alongside for turn 1 this time. Yeah, not able to make a move, but interesting. I still think the tyre situation is interesting here. Still can't envisage any real problems for Haas to get to the end of this race. Davis is in from the McLaren, and so yeah, so actually good timing for Davis. That probably is a decent time to pit. He's got a fresh set of mediums to go to. So he's probably going to come out behind the Red Bull. I think he is going to drop down to P20. Might be close with a Red Bull, actually. Might get P19. Yeah, he has got that P19. With lovely fresh tyres, he's going to go after Scott now. But obviously, really, he's looking to undercut anybody else who has to pit. Where have we got potential overtakes for you? I think, actually... Again, the Ferrari's on Axel. Off once past Kirst, doesn't he? So they may be teammates tonight, but they're not really because Kirst is a reserve. So in terms of the team, they're scoring great points for Ferrari at the moment. Where they are. See, picked up right on the back of this, biding this time. 100% think the camera's going to look to get these hards to the end. He's expecting these two ahead of him to pit. Yeah, I mean, if he was going to dive in, then would have been a good time to do it. So I just don't think he is. But obviously, with every lap that ticks away, the more he's going to be thinking, well, they're not pitting. They should be pitting now. So they're going to be looking to go to softs. So 9 or 10 laps really softs. So it should be any time now. As Robbo's round at turn 1. He's got back going again. There's no signs of damage on the car, but that means he's dropped down to P12. He was having a decent race as well. A shame. And McLaren man. So moment. Well, surely this time. Harris moves to the inside. He's through really by the time they hit the braking point, and that is Kirst through against Axel. Now we have Axel and Kamarov, P3 and P4. Half a point separating them in the championship. 4 attempts separating them on track here at Zandvoort. One on medium tyres at 16 laps old. Kamarov, the other driver who is on hard. Oh, and Chris has run wide in the Ferrari. After all the time he's waited to take the position off of Axel. He finally gets it done, but then runs wide later in the lap, and that drops him to P6. Ah, what a mistake and a maker. The Italian team's reserve. So Axel will now find himself vulnerable to DRS Kamarov. And in terms of energy, they're almost identical. So, you see ahead of us, Cameron moves to the inside of Axel. He's at the inside at turn 1. Not an awful lot that Axel can do about it. Again, it just feels this week like Axel is just through absolutely no fault of his own. It's gone wrong again. And it is an element of luck. It is an element of luck, guys. There's no doubt about that. But at the same time, he's made a tactical error by switching to another set of mediums. So, I was saying he's got to pit, hasn't he? I'm starting to think he's not pitting, but he has to pit because he's gone medium. He's not the only driver either. There are several drivers that have to pit yet. It's just dawned on me. So surely this time round, well, he's not, and the only thing I can think right now is that he's holding out for a safety car. That's got to be what he's doing, because he'd have pitted by now. In comes Curse and Apple, both making their stops going to the soft tyre. Well, what does Axel do? My only fault here is that he's trying to hold out for a safety car. In the hope that they both have to pit and they'll still be together on track after the safety car, but here he comes. He's coming in. I think he's given up on that idea, and in he comes. He's going to have to switch to softs. He's going to be super fast to the end of this race, but he's got a whole group of cars he's going to drop behind. He's going to drop down to P10, P11. Oh, dearie me. Oh, P12, P13. He's going to drop below Curse, is he? Yeah, he is. He is. That just makes it even worse. He's come out behind another fast driver that is also switched to soft tyres. That is just going to make Axel's life even harder to the end of this race. If it wasn't bad enough already. It's all over the back of Trey, but you need to be a bit... Okay, she's got to be a bit sensible there. Or trying to think of a word about patient. If anything, actually, by doing that, Chris has just made himself completely and utterly vulnerable to Axel for the pit straight. Here we go then. DRS open. We'll go around the outside. And we'll be ahead before they break for turn 1. So it's a P11. You should be able to catch Robbo. Robbo's 3 seconds up the road on 22 lap old hards. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's basically on the back of him by the end of this lap, to be honest. Sorry, let's go up then. Where else have we got battles at the moment? Spreader on the back of Waldo. Big D, he's had a good race, hasn't he? Oh, Big D. Up 6th place. I thought he qualified lower than 13th, but yeah, up 6 places nonetheless. Atkins up 8. Gupta's obviously up 16, but so let's just go up here, sorry, because Cameral's coming under some pressure here from Gupta to hold him off that lap. Lap 33 or 36. Big D makes a move on Spreader. He's got the inside. Spreader may get a better exit around the outside. Stay side by side, I think. Into the right hand, there they are, and into the hairpin. And a tiny little bit of contact, but nothing major, nothing that's going to worry either driver, I don't think, and they'll carry on. Atkins and Burt Godwin both looking to see if there's any scraps off of that we can feed on, but nothing at the moment. We're having a think about it, I think, but trying not to make the dive sensible, I think. Curse on the back of Robbo. Axel's got in the head. And he has gotten away as well, but here comes Kirsten. DRS will open. And ahead he goes before we brake for the right left. And now both these drivers, Kirsten and Axel, are going to have the same problem of getting through, navigating their way through this field as Gupta makes a move on Kamarov and takes P2. 23 lap old mediums, surely they're hurting. Well, not even, I'd expect the hards to be hurting right now, let alone the mediums. So Axel gets ahead of Atkins. Versus a couple of cars between them now. Robbo not going to be feeling great. He's got he's going to have Apple absolutely bearing down on him next. It's about 4.5 seconds behind, but that gap is likely to close very, very quickly. As Fatal on his return retires out in the pits. I don't know why he's done that, in all honesty. I thought on your return to the lead you'd be wanting to finish the race, but I'm surprised at that, Fatal. If you're listening, I don't understand why you've just done that. So, any chance here? Doesn't look like it, does it? Very, very tight. It's getting. It's desperate to get past, but. And in the driving do talk for me here, because it's lovely to watch. Axel Manages to get past Spreader. He's doing his absolute best to limit the damage here. As the leaders move on to the final lap of the race, and Kamarov is making the move for P2 on the inside of Gupta. Gupta will get that extra grip around the outside. He'll have the well, in fact, he folds in behind Kamarov, almost as in a way to say, yeah, I don't want to risk taking you out. You're in a championship battle and I'm reserving, so I don't fancy taking you out. There's oh, the Williams Spreader. Oh my goodness. Big crash. Spreader just seemed to get pushed. I'm not sure who it was that went past Spreader. I don't know who it was that Spreader was alongside, but he seemed to get a nudge, and it sent him onto the grass, and I don't think there was an awful lot he could do to stop himself from well, careering back onto the track and into people, because, I mean, what can he do from there? There's nothing he can't. I imagine he just hit the brakes as hard as he could, in all honesty, and yeah, he's annoyed. I can tell you he's annoyed because he's leaving his overtake on and just driving around all the corners, so he's definitely annoyed. Anyway, sorry, let's go to the leaders. I've completely missed them finishing. Plum wins in Zandvoort by a healthy 9.383 second gap. Lil Gupta P3, Kamarov P2, Gupta P3 to complete the podium. Silent Oxen in 4, Axel 5. So did well to come back in the end. Find Waldo in 6, Big D 7, Curse 8, Apple 9, Robbo 10, Atkins 11, Godwin in 12, Dre 13, Spreader 14, then Vice 15, Dark Lord 16. Here comes Jesus. Little battle to the line between Jesus and Scott. Can Scott get him? Not quite. Jesus holds on. Scott P18 then, and Davis it will be that comes around for P19. So there we go. That is Zandvoort. There we go. So there's the confirmation. Axel takes fastest lap of the race. It just helps that little bit extra. Got an insane race to end up P3, but he's a reserve. I'm not going to give driver day to reserve, so not my driver day in a way. He can be voted. He can be voted driver day by the drivers, but for my driver today, I think I'm going to go with I'm torn between two actually, and it's the two Alpha Tauris. I think, yeah, I'm going to give the streamer's driver the day to Silent Oxen today, with a massive shout out to teammate Big D. What a drive from the two Alpha Tauris. Fantastic. Right. Okay, I'm not doing any podium interviews, guys. I'm just not. It's late enough already. Right, okay, so that finishes Zandvoort for PRF1. We'll be back next week, of course, for round 19 of the championship at 8:30. I'll be back on streaming-wise. I'll be back on Tuesday for WAOF1. I hope I haven't forgotten something there. Don't think I have, no. I'll be back on Tuesday. Don't forget for the 100% race tomorrow night. For FPR, there are seats available if you would like to do the 100% tomorrow night at Japan. Please let me know, let Robbo know, let somebody know, let a PRF1 admin know. Just say something in PRF1 and it will be fine. Okay, so anyway, guys, thank you very much to those that have watched along with me. Thanks to everybody who watches the stream back at a later point. I really appreciate it. Good night, God bless, see you again soon. Have a lovely weekend.